I'm Susan Appel, Executive Director of the Indie Learning Team, and today I'm so excited to have with me Kristy Jones, School Leader for Promise Prep, and also founder for Spirit of the Village. Kristy, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Kristy, we know each other. I'm on the board of Promise Prep, and I have just been so impressed with the work that you do there and the work through Spirit of the Village. And, Spirit of the Village was founded so because you felt that students with a strong community did better in school. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you founded Spirit of the Village and what that organization, what you hope it does?
Yes. So it was really established from my own personal story. I actually became a mother 2 days before I turned 16. And so, there's a lot of data and statistics that says a lot of not so great things about what happens to people who are teen mothers, and then also what happens to their kids as well. But that was not my story. I actually, after high school, was able to go on to college, and I graduated from college with my degree in secondary education. My focus was math. I taught math for about 9 years, and then I decided to go into leadership. And I've been a leader for the past 7, 8 years. And I have my master's degree as well. And then my daughter, she actually is a graduate of Tennessee State University. And so all of those statistics and things, they don't have to be true for you when you become a teen mother. I was able to take that obstacle and turn it into an opportunity. And as an educator, the parents that I come in contact with, I realized that they didn't have the same type of support that I had. I had a very strong support system. And as you mentioned, we are there's data and research that shows that students who have a strong support system are most likely to be successful in college, in high school, in school, period. And so that's where I got the vision, the idea to establish Spirit of the Village, which was it's a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and it was established to help strengthen and support the family unit through community partnership and involvement, parent empowerment, educational development, and student engagement. So, in short, we are a support system for the parents, the support system for the students, and so that's what we do.
Yeah, I love that you said that wasn't my story and how much control and power that has, and how you're empowering other people to own their story and, um, you know, galvanize the community around each other to help write our own stories. And, you do with Spirit of the Village monthly conversations with different leaders. And one of them was representation matters. And you talked about how it's crucial for African American children to develop, to know their history and develop self-confidence and self-image. And that really ties into you saying that wasn't my story. So can you tell us a little bit about that session in particular and why that matters and some of the takeaways and the importance that you got from that conversation?
Yes. So with representation matters, a lot of times in school, our Black and Brown students, and I'll speak more specifically to our Black students, they learn that their history started with slavery. And that's not true. Our history goes way back past slavery. And in fact, we come from kings and queens in Africa. And so I think it's very important. And I thought it was very important for us to have that conversation so that students will be able to have something positive to look back on as it relates to their culture. And so that, because we know that in school, half the battle is self-confidence. Like students, if you believe you can do it, then you are most likely going to do it. And so it's very important to me that our students understand that they have a rich history. And what I've learned is that parents, teachers, the people who are responsible for making sure students know that, they really weren't aware of that history either. And so that's why we decided to have one of our topics, which was, what was that, in February, Representation Matters, which is a part of a series of topics that matter. Every month we have conversations on different topics that matter to the Black and Brown community.
Yeah, and I think that representation doesn't just matter to the Black and Brown community, it matters to all of us. And what I think is so interesting about, what you're saying there is that our story it's a narrative that can be shaped. And I think having awareness of that and having students have awareness of that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah,
And in fact, storytelling matters. That's
yeah,
another one of our upcoming topics in May. We're going to be talking about storytelling matters, because it really does. We lose a lot of our history because people aren't telling stories anymore. And so I'm very thankful to have people in my family who are still telling stories of our family, so that I can have knowledge of my family's background.
Yeah, and I think when you tie it into that self-confidence piece, that's the stories we tell ourselves. And so
yes.
Exposing it to representation matters, the stories we're telling ourselves and each other matter. And that ties me into my favorite topic, that literacy matters. Literacy matters, books matters, representation matters. So, as a school leader, as a mom, as an educator, talk to me about why literacy matters and the challenges and opportunities you see with that.
Yes, literacy matters because Frederick Douglass said that once you learn to read, you will be forever free. And I wholeheartedly believe that. Once you learn to read, there's books about any and everything. So whatever you want to know, it's in a book. And as long as you can read that, then, that's going to be important, and it's going to play a huge role in the trajectory of your life. But in addition to reading, numeracy as well, as it relates to math and being able to account and number sense and all of that. So yes, literacy, being able to speak, being able to listen, being able to read, and being able to write. And so we know literacy includes all of that. And so what we are seeing is that I believe the statistic was told to me that 25% of Black and Brown children in Indiana are not proficient in reading. Don't quote me on that. I believe that is the data that has been shared with me. And so that's very unfortunate, very unfortunate. And so when we think about, the leaders that are going to follow us, we need to make sure that they're literate. And so that's very important to us as well. So that's going to be our topic for this month. Literacy matters.
Oh, good. So you said April 25th, and where can we find out more on how to attend your Matters, the Spirit of the Village, What Matters series?
Yes, it's on our website, which is sotvindy.org.
Excellent.
And so if you go to the website, click on the services tab, that's where I always have listed what the topic of the month is, and then a link for you to register.
So if we were going to take one takeaway, from your lessons as a school leader and from Spirit of the Village around community and how we support each other, what advice would you give us, or something that you have learned that we can take with us?
I think one of the major things, which was my topic for last month, support matters. And so don't be afraid to reach out and get the support that you need in order to accomplish whatever goals you have for yourself and your children as well. There are a lot of organizations out here, and Spirit of the Village wants to be that connector to help families get the resources that they need. And so our contact information is on our website as well. So don't hesitate to reach out if you need help building a village that's going to help support you and your family.
Yeah, I love that. I have started to say that literacy is a team sport, but maybe life is a team sport, and we need each other to support each other and to encourage each other and to really write our own stories and narratives about what is possible.
Right. And not being afraid to tell your story. I used to be ashamed that I became a teen mom, but when I look back and see how it really has shaped me and made me who I am today and given me the vision for this nonprofit organization, like, it's not something I have to be ashamed of. And it's not something that had to hold me back from reaching my true potential and my goals that I had for myself.
Yeah, I think that's such a great takeaway, and, be proud of who we are and own our stories. that's how we become really powerful. And I'm so grateful for you to be on my team and to, all the good things that you're doing. So thank you for talking with us today and sharing your story.
Thank you so much. And I would be remiss to not mention we are enrolling right now, K through 2 students.
Yes.
So
Check out. And
yes,
where can we find out about Promise Prep?
go to promiseprepindy.org.
Yeah, what a great organization and a great team. They're doing wonderful things, really embodying the spirit of the village community approach to educating and making sure that everybody has the opportunities. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.